Gideon Moi is a name that instantly awakens memories of power, legacy, controversy, privilege, and the heavy burden of a famous surname in Kenya, and behind this name lies a deeply layered story that many Kenyans think they know but few truly understand, making him one of the most intriguing political figures of the modern era. Born on January 22, 1964, Gideon Toroitich Moi is currently 61 years old and belongs to the Kalenjin community, specifically the Tugen sub-tribe, by heritage. That is inseparably tied to Kenya's second president, the late Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, his father, whose 24-year rule shaped the nation's politics, economy, and governance in ways that still spark debate today. Growing up at the center of power, Gideon Moi's childhood was far from ordinary, surrounded by state security, global leaders, and political intrigue, yet also overshadowed by enormous expectations and constant public scrutiny, as many Kenyans silently asked whether the son of a president could ever escape the shadow of his father. Educated locally and abroad, Gideon would later step into politics not as a loud revolutionary but as a calm, calculated strategist, first serving as a nominated member of parliament and later as a powerful senator for Baringo County, a region that has historically been both loyal to the Moi family and deeply affected by ethnic clashes and political transitions. Unlike many flamboyant politicians, Gideon Moi cultivated an image of restraint, soft speech, and diplomacy, earning him respect in elite political circles even as he struggled to command the same grassroots passion enjoyed by his father during his peak years. His political journey became even more fascinating when he rose to chair the Kenya African National Union, KANU, the once dominant party that ruled Kenya for decades, turning him into a symbol of the old guard attempting to reinvent itself in a new democratic era dominated by younger, louder, and more populist voices. Gideon Moi's family life has always been a subject of curiosity, and while he is known to be married, he has deliberately kept his wife or wives away from the public eye, a sharp contrast to modern politicians who parade their families for political branding, and this silence has only fueled speculation, gossip, and public fascination. Though what is clear is that he is a family man who values privacy in an age of exposure. He is one of the many children of Daniel arap Moi, and among his notable siblings is the late Jonathan Toroitich Moi, whose death in 2019 shocked the nation and added a somber chapter to the Moi family story, reminding Kenyans that wealth and power do not shield one from tragedy. Gideon Moi is also a father, blessed with children whose identities he has carefully protected from media glare, choosing to raise them away from the harsh spotlight that followed him throughout his life, a decision that many now see as wisdom rather than secrecy. When it comes to wealth, Gideon Moi is frequently listed among Kenya's wealthiest politicians, with his net worth often estimated in the billions of shillings, derived from vast family assets, land holdings, investments, and business interests accumulated during and after his father's presidency, though exact figures remain a mystery due to the complex nature of family trusts and inherited estates, making him both admired and criticized in equal measure by Kenyans who still debate the origins of the Moi family. Fortune. What truly sets Gideon Moi apart is not just his surname or wealth but his political positioning, as he has at different times aligned with opposition forces, supported handshake politics, and attempted to present himself as a unifying national figure rather than a tribal kingpin, a move that earned him praise from some and suspicion from others who questioned whether Kenya was ready to separate the man from the legacy of his father. His failed bid for the presidency did not mark an end but rather a pause, reinforcing the idea that in Kenyan politics, influence does not always require the highest office, and sometimes silence, patience, and strategic alliances speak louder than rallies and slogans. Gideon Moi's story is therefore not just about a man but about Kenya itself, about inheritance versus merit, about power that is given versus power that is earned, about the struggle to redefine identity in a nation that never forgets names, and as Kenyans continue to debate his role, intentions, and future, one thing remains undeniable: Gideon Moi represents a living chapter of Kenyan history, walking among us, shaped by the past yet still capable of influencing the future. And if you want more deep, untold, and unbiased stories behind the names that shape our nation, this is Behind the Name, where history meets truth, legacy meets reality, and every name has a story worth knowing. Subscribe, like, and share, because the story of Kenya is still being written.